Hey everybody, welcome back, Procarry Trucker. Pretty much got through most of that backup. They probably got it cleared up here. Uh, shouldn't be much, we'll be all the way through it. Yeah, Mary. Still got a little bit of stop and go traffic, but pretty much done with the backup. Only showing 4-minute delay now. I'm about a half an hour from the Briley Parkway, which goes around Nashville. Down to a 2-minute delay. Got a few clouds in the sky, but where there ain't clouds, it's nice and blue. Dora Flores, appreciate you joining. Ari, appreciate you joining. Currently eastbound I-24 in Tennessee. I'm about 30 miles from Nashville. I did a live a little bit earlier. Was going to do a live through Nashville. Got into the traffic backup. It was showing 4 hours. 3.5, 4-hour delay, so I went ahead and ended that stream. Not a whole lot going on. Pretty much through that back up now, so figure I'll hop back on here and see what we see through Nashville, Tennessee. They must have got it cleaned up because my GPS live traffic just popped up, no traffic reported ahead. So we should be clearing out pretty quick. I am going to take the Briley around Nashville. I'm not going to go through the middle of the day. So I will be going by the Grand Ole Opry Mills Mall. Won't be too far from the airport. Like I said, there's still a little bit of stop and go traffic, but for the biggest part, we're moving. Yeah, there's there's one of the trucks. I see some flashing blue. Let's see if anybody will let me over. Surprised this law enforcement officer didn't let me over. That little white car back there looks like a Nissan. Let me over. Looks like he got the tractor pulled away from the trailer. Not sure what he was hauling. Looks like it might have been hauling onions. Or no? Can't tell what that was. Was the bags melted underneath or what? But kind of looked like a bag of onions to begin with. Scalps Barbershop. Appreciate it. I am currently I-24 eastbound. I am about 27 miles from Nashville, Tennessee. I am headed to Lebanon, Tennessee, which I consider basically a suburb. $13.89. I'm sorry, I can't quite pronounce your name. Appreciate you joining. Been on streaming on mobile device. All my chat and everything is all the wording pretty small, so a lot of names I missed. Oh, your son's a police officer in Lebanon, Tennessee? Awesome. I've had very little interaction with the LEOs in Lebanon, but the interaction I have had has all been very polite, very professional, very courteous. I'm sure your son's seen our trucks go through Lebanon then. We delivered to Shenandoah Mill there in Lebanon. I was supposed to be there at 1 p.m., 1300 Central Time. I took my break in Mount Vernon, Illinois last night. I left there with about an hour and 15 minutes to spare. Right now, I am showing getting to Lebanon about 45 minutes to an hour late. Yeah, unfortunately, from what I hear from some of the guys there where we deliver, that's quite prevalent in Lebanon. Especially those first two. And I don't mean the legal ones. From what I hear, the ones that are not supposed to have firearms are the ones they're after. There's plenty of those from what I hear. And as you can assume from my channel name, Procarry does refer to the Second Amendment. I do carry. not just for my protection, but for others also. It's one of those things that probably will never happen, hopefully will never happen, but could happen if shit hits the fan. I will be using my weapon, and I will be putting myself between an innocent and the threat. I don't care if that innocent is man, woman, child, black, white, Asian, Korean, Mexican. If they're an innocent, I will put myself between them and the threat. Talk to your son again there. Let him know there's a bulk-o-matic truck, pulls bulk tanker, goes into Shenandoah Mills there. And let him know there's one of the drivers that got great respect for that department from what I've seen so far. I appreciate it there, Scouts. Be safe, stay cool, and enjoy your time. Yeah, this is a whole lot better than sitting. Can't believe I'm passing the personal vehicle going uphill, and I'm grossed at about 79,000. I'm showing 0 viewers right now. Little red car just couldn't wait. I barely got past that white pickup, and they had to go around me on the right. Yeah, Mary said, oh, no, I'm showing 3 on here now. Yeah, YouTube's a little funky like that. Springfield, Ashland City exit. I'll tell you, Nashville ain't the worst for traffic, but it's got to be one of the worst as far as drivers go. Stupidity drivers. Just idiotic, don't have a clue on how to drive. Total disregard for traffic laws. Shoot, Nashville. Truckers, we call it Crashville for a reason. Shoot, if a raindrop falls, you'd think there was 6 inches of ice on the interstate. Good thing about streaming from a mobile device, if I switch towers, it may buffer for a minute. Hopefully I don't have any issues. I'd really like to stay on and stream through Nashville. Like I said, I'm going to go around the Briley instead of going through the middle. So I will be going right by the Grand Ole Opry and Opry Mills Mall. Fairly decent mall. Got a few restaurants in there that are nice. This is a hill a couple years ago. I'm running 68, 69 mile an hour. I bump up to about 70 on this hill a little bit, but no big deal. The speed limit is 70. Should have a crossover coming up here, or maybe it's the next hill. Yeah, this crossover right here, there was an unmarked state cop sitting there in the middle, and just as I passed that crossover, I had a black SUV that I know was another unmarked fly by me on the left, doing probably 90, a little bit over 90. And like I said, I was doing 69, 70, which 70 is the speed limit. And I got pulled over, supposedly for speeding. Officer came up the passenger side. I rolled the window down. He hopped up on the steps. Asked me, going a little fast there, weren't you? When I asked him how fast I was going, he'd never tell me. He just said I was going a little fast. I kept asking him, how fast was I going? He goes, well, you're going a little fast. He'd never tell me a speed. Well, when I explained to him about my cameras that are in the truck that our company put in and how they record my speed, my direction, my GPS location, and that all I had to do is bring that up and prove what my speed was. All of a sudden, he dropped it real quick, told me have a nice day, and let me go. Tell me that wasn't a setup. That's why I always recommend, especially if you're traveling out of your home area, have a dash cam. And a dash cam that records your speed is even better. Nope, not driving international. I got a Peterbilt 579 that's a POS. It has literally been in the shop more than it's been on the road this year. Company truck. Injectors have been replaced, I think, 7 times this year. And it never fails. They got to order parts. It'll get sent to the shop, and it's there for a month, 3 to 4 weeks. This last time wasn't bad. It was 2 weeks. I'm down well below the speed limit, so I'm going to grab this right lane. Usually not quite so heavy coming down here, and I can usually hold it least 60, 63 mile an hour going up that hill. But I'm grossed out about 79,000 now. And KLLM, don't be slowing down and let him on. KLLM may be slowing down for another reason. Pretty heavy traffic. I get up here to this box truck, I may just have to slow down because I don't think I'm going to be able to work over there to the left lane, get around them. I've not driven an international since the last company I drove for. That box truck in front of me doing 63 mile an hour, which I think that's what KLLM is governed at, 63 or 65. Miles of Briley. Pumping their arms, they wanted to hear an air horn. I think they had some kids in the back seat. I'm not grabbing that right lane here because, I mean, by the time I get the right lane, it's going to be ending. Have to fight back over with all this traffic. Safety-wise, it's just as safe to stay in the lane and I don't know why that SUV moved over and doing 76 mile an hour. He's going to be stuck behind KLLM unless he can get back over again. He might be wanting this next exit though. Yeah, he took the hell, he went back to left lane. Not everyone, you got that skateboard vibe if you want it. Oh, is Raleigh just as bad as Nashville? Now, if you're a truck driver, you know we call Nashville Crashville. I've not been through Raleigh in a long time. We do have a terminal down in Charlotte. We used to take loads down to Winston-Salem. We got a terminal in Winston-Salem, and then they got a drop lot they use. They would take loads down to the drop lot there in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and then the Winston-Salem drivers would deliver those to Danville, Virginia. Das ist ein schönes Mädchen vielleicht. Ethan, thank you for joining. Last time I checked Google Maps, traffic was still flowing pretty good around the Briley, so. Get down here, I can take the choice. I can go through the middle of Nashville. I can take the Briley around. Or I can get off one exit before the Briley, and I can run over and catch 40 over there, not too far from Lebanon. The name of that road's on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot think of it. Coming up on it pretty quick. Should be the next exit. Somebody probably made a stupid decision up here. Now we got traffic slowing down. Used to run 77 from Charleston, West Virginia, all the way down into North Carolina, where I caught 74. I mean, you run it enough. 77 West Virginia is not too bad. If there is an accident on 77, there's not really any good way around it. Knowing where the tight curves are and all that, what curves you can go speed around, what curves you can't. It's not too bad. If you're not used to it, yes, it's a nightmare. Especially coming back, we'd come back empty, going north on 77, and I'd set my cruise at 68. And the only time I'd slow down is for the 3 toll booths or slow traffic in front of me. That's the exit I could have took. Hey, Old Hickory Boulevard. I could have got off there and turned left, and I would have completely bypassed Nashville altogether. It would have brought me out on 40 there, just not too far from Lebanon. I could have caught 40 there, went to my exit. But go down here, and I'm going to take the Briley around Nashville. once again, I did not go to that right lane because traffic's so heavy. It would have been more dangerous trying to get back over to the left lane at this point, or to my lane at this point. And it's just a whole lot safer just to stay in your lane all the way through. Now, if there's less traffic or whatever, I probably would have took that truck lane. I need to go back and edit a couple of my other lives and see if I can put a title on them instead of just was live. I don't know what KLLM's doing out there in the left lane. Speed limit around the Briley is 55 miles an hour. Oh, dude, dumb ass cops. Du bist wirklich glücklich. Ich bin nicht vorsichtig nochmal. That exit there takes the Briley the opposite direction as I want to go. Take you around the west side of Nashville. The Briley does not go all the way around that way. Actually, I'm going to go around the east side of Nashville, and about where I get off the Briley onto 40 is where the freeway part of Tennessee 155 ends. Goes down to 4 lanes. 2 lanes each direction, but it's got cross street stoplights. This is a fairly tight curve, plus it's bouncy, and then right here at the end it gets really tight to stay in your lane. Definitely do not want to be speeding around it because you will dump a truck over. Briley will be going to 6 lane here pretty quick. I'll stay in this lane until I get closer to the 40 junction. That way I'm away from merging traffic. First junction is going to be I-65. I don't want it. I may get lucky. I may only be about a half an hour late to Lebanon after that backup. Subdivision off there to the right, pretty nice houses in them. Another junction for 65 north. Like I said, speed limit 65. Now I guess speed limit 65 today. This is one of those areas where they change the speed limit depending on traffic. Be coming up on the Grand Ole Opry shortly after this next right-hand curve. Not immediately after, I don't think it is, but it's shortly after. Out there's a 55 mile an hour. I knew it was coming up. No traffic, plenty open, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a lane to the right so I don't have to try doing it in traffic. I still got a lane to my right for on-merging traffic. Ain't fighting with them. Occasionally, I did take my CV out for, I didn't have a CV for 8-9 years because all the BS, but I put it back in here. That way, some shippers, receivers, that's how you check in. It makes it a whole lot easier than having to call. You get into traffic back up, find out what's going on, or if there's a backup the opposite direction, you can forewarn truckers or other vehicles that got a CB that they're coming up to a backup and start slowing down. My earlier stream I had when I came up on that last backup, CB is how I found out the reason of the backup was a truck on fire. I'll move my phone a little bit to the right. Ought to be able to see the Grand Ole Opry a little bit better. Shortly after this, pretty much right after this next underpass, should be able to start seeing Grand Ole Opry. Get off this exit here, you go to Cooter's Garage, one of the General Lee Dukes of Hazzard museums. Get off into that ramp there, make a right-hand turn, and it's down on the right. Probably down 2, 3, maybe 4 miles. And that is the Grand Ole Opry. Doing some work on it. Let's see, who's gonna be at the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah, I couldn't tell who was going to be there. Opera Mills Mall. It's a pretty decent mall. Pretty good size. Got quite a bit in it yet. I wish YouTube would let me do a live with the phone in landscape mode, be able to see more. Yeah, the Grand Ole Opry, Opera Mills Mall. I'm not actually on an interstate. I'm on Tennessee Route 155. Also called Briley Parkway, goes around Nashville. Got a water park coming up on my left. Last year it wasn't even up and going, but I've seen people going down the slides this year. Got somebody getting ready to go down now. Little water park. Alrighty, I do believe I'm past the Grand Ole Opry. I'm gonna let this straight truck hauling this concrete form get a little bit of distance in between us. Well, no, I think I want to stay in this lane right here. I believe my exit for 40 East I can get from this lane, and the right lane is 40 West. But had quite a bit of rain down through here, because that's the second high water sign I've seen. Must have been water up on the travel lanes. Got 98 degrees right now. That's actual temperature, not heat index. So, heat index, I imagine, is probably up there close to 108, 110. Tour bus, local tour bus. Coming up on 40. My Jake ought to be kicking in here. West, I want 40 East. So I did want to make a lane change. Luckily I had plenty of space to do it there. I didn't have to fight traffic to do it. normally think west is to my right, east is to my left. So you'd think I'd be taking the exit to the left, but you don't. Kind of like coming down 75 in Atlanta and you want to take the bypass. Kind of take the opposite exit you think you'd take. Now this will curve to the right and it'll pretty good sharp curve to the left, curve back around to catch 40 east. That right lane will come to an end. That's why I've not jumped back over there. If I jumped over that right lane, I'd just have to make another lane change to the left. We want to make as few lane changes as we have to. Now, if that right lane didn't end for 20, 30, 40 miles or more, then yeah, I'd go ahead and get in that right lane. But almost immediately upon merging onto, there's a fire extinguisher somebody going to hit. Almost immediately upon merging onto I-40 East, I need to grab another lane to the left. And I'm going to have room to do it. You're in Wilmington, okay? Four lanes each direction through here. Those 2 lanes to my right are not actual travel lanes; those are exit lanes. Far left lane is an HOV lane, which is high occupancy vehicle. You're not supposed to be in that lane unless you have 2 or more people in your vehicle. Yeah, to me, it's kind of stupid. That left lane ought to be for through traffic. You got a couple of windshields in there. One of them's cracked. 0.4 miles of construction remaining according to the live traffic on the GPS. Like they're working on the pole. The pole had a camera on the top of it. Most of the cameras you see along the interstate like that, you can view from, probably go to the Tennessee, state of Tennessee's government website. Probably have a link on there where to view web traffic cameras. Trucks use right 2 lanes. They do pretty much let trucks get by in that 3rd lane, but they not too nice to you if you get out there in the HOV lane. We got somebody up here walking. I really can't get over. Hopefully they're paying attention. got a construction vehicle up here, a state vehicle. I'm going to want this lane anyway because I get up here by Murfreesboro and the right lane becomes the right lane, exit lane, so I'll just hang out here. The Hermitage, whatever you call it. I believe it was the home of President Andrew Jackson. Be the next exit. If I would have got off on Old Hickory Boulevard there, one exit before the Briley, I would have went right by the historic site. Oh wow, the dam is wide open. They're letting out a lot of water. Exit 221B, Old Hickory Boulevard. If I would have took that exit before the Briley, this is where I would have been catching I-40 at. That exit before Briley was Old Hickory Boulevard. And I'd have ran across Hickory and hopped on 40 just right up here. Not this overpass, but the next overpass. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know I-40 doesn't quite go to the coast. Like I said, I don't want to grab that right lane because it's going to become an exit only lane for Murfreesboro. Which we used to deliver to Murfreesboro. Been a long time since I've been out there on the East Coast. I got with this company here and I don't have to deal with I-95. I don't have to deal with California. Really don't go much farther west than Missouri. Unless, well, no, we go to Jonesboro, Arkansas. It's on I-55, just right in Arkansas, and then about an hour east or an hour west of I-55. Other than that, really don't go much farther west unless we get the odd load into Texas. Occasionally get to go to Texas. Out of my terminal anyway. good to see you on here. Appreciate it. Copy that. Well, Monday, they got me going to Omaha. Terminal out there is really behind. They're far enough behind that the mill they haul out of, they're about to lose that account. So they're trying to get drivers out there to cover loads. So I'll be going out to Omaha for 2 weeks. Not too far from Murfreesboro, Tennessee now. In case you didn't hear earlier there, Cliff, I'm on Interstate 40. Took the Briley around Nashville. Caught 40 over here on the east side of Nashville, running across. Coming up on Murfreesboro here before long. I wonder what the DOT check station's doing today. It's been pretty much open all summer long during the day. But that's on the westbound side. I ain't got to worry about it coming in loaded. Always got to pull through there when I'm coming back empty though. Be coming up on that check station here pretty quick. Dawson, let's turn this smidge. I'm about 11 miles from Lebanon, Tennessee. Right now, because of that backup, I'm 18 minutes past my appointment, so luckily I'm not going to be more than about a half an hour. Luckily I left the motel early. I left the motel, I had an hour and a half to spare. I was going to be getting into Lebanon about an hour and a half before my appointment. Now I'm going to be there about a half an hour late. Nashville Metro Police. He must be going for a prisoner transfer or something, because Nashville Metro's out of their jurisdiction over here. Not sure, Thomas. I had an issue with my airbrush that I just got figured out last week or week before. I've had so much going on that I need to get back in and finish that Corsair. I've been debating on doing the 72 Ford. got an Oldsmobile I need to do. I think it's an 89 Olds. Somebody lost some clothes there on the interstate. I think I got 12 or 13 models I can choose from. The 72 Ford pickup, I built it a while back, but that's one I lost when I moved. I'd done that as a group build for Big Charlie's Model Garage. 72 was the year I was born. So I've done it before, so not sure I'll do it. I got 9, 10, 11, 12 models that I've not done before, so hopefully I'll be back in the hobby room after my tour of duty in Omaha. I'll get back to the hobby room, get that Corsair finished up, and get started on the next one. Being summer, been fishing, just running around. I got another new hobby with cards, a game called Magic the Gathering. Been doing that on Fridays, Saturdays. I ain't been fishing in a couple weeks, so I definitely need to get out doing it. I may take some gear with me to Omaha. Find a lake out there. Find somewhere to do some fishing on my time off. Get me an out-of-state. See if I can get a 3-day out-of-state permit. Non-resident permit, do some fishing out there. Oh, Cliff, you ought to seen it earlier when I was in that backup due to that truck on fire there just past Clarksville, Tennessee. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are searching that car hard. Somebody was a bad boy. Or girl. Now we got another full grown up here watching traffic. Got 4.5 mile to my exit. I don't remember passing Murfreesboro. Let's see. Trying to think. 281, 284, something like that. 235, that wouldn't be right. Murfreesboro down on I-24, so I had a brain fart. Murfreesboro's on 24, not 40. And I do believe the exit I'm going to take up here, if I went, that's US 231 in Lebanon, Tennessee. If I take that south, I believe it'd run right into Murfreesboro. Cumberland University, next right. Yep, next exit, the exit I want, 238. Once I get it's 4 lane, 2 lanes each direction, but they're pretty narrow. When I turn into Shenandoah Mills, it's pretty tight. So if you're still on here when I turn in, you'll notice right before I get to Shenandoah Mills, I will split the 2 lanes. I'll basically run down the middle. Passenger side tires in the right lane, driver's side tires in the left lane, take up both lanes. That way I can swing wide enough to get into the facility. I will be making my left-hand turn from the outside turn lane. .9% of the time, you always use the outside. When there's 2 turn lanes, you use the outside turn lane in a rig. In a personal vehicle, it's best to use whatever lane you need to be in. Once you make your turn, use that turn lane that puts you into that lane. But in a big rig combination vehicle, when you got, especially got a trailer on, you want to use the outside turn lane. And even here I got to be careful because I go out as far as I can. My trailer does track into that other lane just a bit. Do have a pilot truck stop if I turn right. Keep an eye on my hood mirror, make sure no cars get in there where I cross that line at. one of these days I'm going to get down here and have time to stop at Whataburger. Used to go to Whataburger all the time when I went down and helped out our Fort Worth, Texas terminal. I like Whataburger. So anybody watch King of the Hill, they got that restaurant on there they go to in Arlington, Texas called Whataburger. It is an actual restaurant. It's up on the left. Pretty big down in Texas. I believe that's where it started out at. They've expanded. They got Whataburgers a few other areas now, but used to be Texas and southern Oklahoma, about the only place you found them. And there's Whataburger and Chipotle. And supposedly we are allowed to go into the Lowe's parking lot with the tractor trailer and park in there to go to Whataburger. Man, it smells good. Walmart on my right, Panda Express, McAllister Deli. McAllister is not a bad place to eat if you're just looking for cold cut sandwiches. Their baked potatoes are good. They're known for their sweet tea or their iced tea, sweet, unsweetened. Their baked potatoes are huge. Probably can't see it in the video, but up on the right hand side, quite a ways up, big tall building, you can see Shenandoah Mill. Shortly before or right after the railroad crossing is where I need to start taking both lanes. A lot of traffic, so I'm going to try to do it as soon as possible. You got people scared to go across railroad tracks. I can understand slowing down for them, but not coming to a freaking stop. Hopefully that pickup will let me. Dude, your right turn signal's on. And I'm at Shenandoah Mill. Got it back. We got one truck there. Looks like he's a shutting down. He's putting stuff away, or is he pulling out, getting started? He's just getting hooked up. So I'm going to have to go back, find out what's going on. See if I'm going to have to wait on him or if I get unload. Appreciate you watching. Hi there, scalps. Oh, I got it. That was earlier. There we go. I'm going to get off here, go get checked in, find out what's going on. And we will catch y'all on the next one. Appreciate y'all.